Detroit Lions fans, Detroit Den 313 back with another one. Stephen Will here, ready to talk some Detroit Lions football. You know what to do. If for some reason you just stumbled upon us and you've been under a rock, hit that subscribe button. And don't forget, if you want to win some free Detroit Lions stuff, you need to become a member, man. We give away all types of stuff. We give away signed memorabilia like that Aiden Hutchinson signed helmet right there. We give away all types of signed stuff. Tickets may be a thing coming down the road if we keep doing what we're doing. But gift cards, all of the things, jerseys, you know what it is. So go ahead and do that if you want to participate and win some stuff. But Steve, what the heck are we talking about today, man?
Under the radar players, Will. That's where we're talking. It's fun to talk about the J-Mos, the Hutchinsons, but I think sometimes we forget about the players on this team. Like, I don't know, David Montgomery. Does he still deserve a little bit of respect? Will have the fans completely forgotten about him?
I feel like, me included, a ton of people are very excited about Jahmyr Gibbs. A ton of people are talking about Jahmyr Gibbs in that top number 1, 2, or 3 running back conversation. I think that's led to exactly what you've alluded to. David Montgomery kind of getting lost in the shuffle. When I'll talk about my personal beliefs and then you tell me where you fall in. I personally believe that David Montgomery is a top 5, top 6 running back to me, man. He does all of the things. It just so happens that Jahmyr Gibbs is crazy special. I look at Jahmyr Gibbs as somebody who's one of those rare talents. Like, it's crazy. But David Montgomery is an absolute beast. Like, if David Montgomery was our lead back and without help, I wouldn't be going into the season like, man, I don't know. I would be tremendously happy and content with David Montgomery being the starting running back for the Detroit Lions. It just so happens that we have the blessing of having 2 absolute dogs. So to me, Steve, although I feel like Jahmyr Gibbs is special, I feel like we have 2 starting running backs in Detroit, 1A, 1B. Are you in the same boat? How do you feel about it? Because I know a lot of people are calling for Jahmyr Gibbs to just get the lion's share of the carries.
I like the carries that Jahmyr Gibbs gets. I know that's not a popular take, but I just think it keeps him less broken, not getting his beat up as much. Like, the dude's productive. Like, he's not touching the ball 300-400 times like a lot of running backs, and he's still getting almost 2,000 yards in total yardage at the end of the season. So whatever they decide to do, I'm good with. But I think we got a little glimpse of what Jahmyr can do when he's full-time running back 1 when David Montgomery got hurt last year in the Buffalo game. But, Will, I was just bored today. Had like 60 seconds of free time to myself today at work. And what I wanted to do was say, hey, I need to decompress, watch a little Lions stuff. I was looking at the current 2025 running back duos in the NFL today and couldn't find anything really running back related, because when I look at who at Fox Sports has the number 1 is Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. That shouldn't count because they're, one of them's a quarterback. Number 2, yeah. True running backs is the Detroit Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs, and David Montgomery. And I 100% agree with Fox Sports that this is the best running back duo in the NFL. It's not close. The next paired true running back combination was, I believe it was the Buccaneer. Yeah, Bucky Irving and Rachaad White. I'm sorry. I think David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs are light years ahead of both of those guys as a running back. I don't think those guys would be able to even touch running back 3 for the Detroit Lions. Well, I think if we had either one of those guys from Tampa Bay, they'd be running back 3 or possibly even 4. So it's a luxury that we have. I think when we talk about how great this offense is and how explosive it is, we often forget that this team is just poised to just run the football down your face. Like, that's exactly what we want to do. Like, 2 electric running backs that can break off big yard plays. Starting with Jahmyr Gibbs. Electric, touches the football, never know what's going to happen. And I think people sleep on David Montgomery like he didn't have a 75-yard touchdown run against the Chargers just a couple years ago. So I absolutely love this luxury. I don't think it's appreciated enough, Will. I think it's absolutely the best in the NFL. Do you agree?
I do agree. It leads me to a question, too, what you're talking about right now. Where would you rank David Montgomery in the running backs in the NFL? Range. You ain't got to give me an exact number, but range.
I'd say he's a top 10. I mean, this is a dude who had double-digit touchdowns last year and was injured. But the year before, let me pull up the stats, he had over 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns. Like, behind a good offensive line, he's been dominant. We didn't in 2023. He only played 14 games and had 1,000 yards. 2024, 14 games, 775 yards, but still had 12 touchdowns. Like I for sure think he's a top 10 back. I don't think he's as explosive as a lot of running backs, but he's got some sneaky bursts, some sneaky speed. He can bust off some long ones. I for sure think he's top 10.
So when you say top 10, are we talking like he's number 10? Like,
Oh,
I don't need an exact number, but I like, what are we talking? Is he number 10? Is he number 9? Like what's
did you say
what are we
without
talking?
giving me an exact number? Like, was
I
it?
don't need an exact number, but 10 is kind of vague to me because are you telling me there's that's my real question. You telling me there's 9 other running backs that's better than David Montgomery in the NFL?
I think the only running backs that are truly better than David Montgomery, one of them's on our team, Jahmyr Gibbs, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry. You could probably make a case for Saquon Barkley. So maybe, am I crazy for saying 5, 6, but no lower than 7?
I like it. And that's all I wanted, man. And I agree with you. And I would even argue the Derrick Henry situation just because I know people are going to freak out, but just because I like the versatility of David Montgomery. Now, I know what people are going to say. David Henry has caught some, or Derrick Henry has caught some passes, some screen passes, and ran for some long touchdowns. I get it, but I just feel like down in and down out versatility. I would give it to David Montgomery. But you said something. When he's got an elite offensive line, he's a problem. I gotta say, pump the brakes here.
He was still really good with Chicago when they had a bad offensive line. He was still really good, but not elite.
Oh, I would go with elite because in 2020 their offensive line was trash and he rushed for 1,000 yards. 2020, I'm looking at 247 carries, 1,000 yards, and 8 touchdowns. And if you know anything about that offensive line, they were trash. That offensive line was trash. That's why when we got him, Steve, I was like, my mind is blown. My mind was blown when we got him. I could not believe that the Chicago Bears let him walk. But and that goes back to we were having some offseason conversations. That's when we were just getting fresh into the podcasting game, and I was talking about that guy who went out to New Orleans. That was, hey man, if you're gonna cry like a puppy, yeah, that guy that went out there, and I was like, hey man, I would be okay if he left. And people wanted to sacrifice me on air. Right? But this is why, man, I just feel like you see what he did out there in New Orleans, and there's guys like this that are floating around. There were some guys that you and I talked about behind the scenes as potential guys that maybe we could bring in as RB3 as some solid running backs that I even think, man, probably would have been a better situation than him. Nonetheless, I know he had the touchdown, 1 yard hero and all of that stuff, man, but I think we absolutely got to steal with David Montgomery. And I want to talk about some things, Steve, that I feel like that David Montgomery does that I feel like goes underrated, because we talk about the NFL combine and we talk about how fast guys are, how much they bench press. But I feel like there's some things that go, I guess, by the novice eye, especially unseen, that David Montgomery does really well. So, Steve, I'm going to let you pick. You want to talk about the passing game first, or you want to talk about the rushing game?
I think I know you're going to go with the passing game. So let's see the rushing game.
All right, we'll go to the run game first. Here he goes. We're loading it in. If technology is my thing.
It's not. It never is. Maybe we need to get a child down there to help you out.
Here we go. Now, I tried to help you guys out. I'm trying something a little bit different today. You're going to see this thing freeze because I want you to have an understanding of what David Montgomery is seeing when he gets this handoff. So when you see it freeze, I want you to take a look at what he's doing and what's in front of him. So it freezes right there. If he just runs that up his offensive lineman's back, he's going to get a yard, maybe 2 yards, but he has patience. He understands how to run the football. It's not just about being fast. You're going to see a couple of them. I think I put 3 of them in here. Same thing. He gets the carry. You freeze frame that. If he just runs that up the lineman's back, then he's going to get a yard or maybe no gain. But what does he do? He takes that little hesitation step, Steve, and it's all the difference. I'm going to run it back one more time so you can see it. Freeze him right there. He takes a little hesitation, 1, 2, lets it open up, and then gets busy, man. Running the football is about understanding what the offensive linemen are doing in front of you, having patience. Sam Laporta coming across his face, he lets it open up, and then he punishes these guys. It's not just about being powerful. It's not just about having speed. It's about having patience and about accelerating at the proper times, man. Like, I need people to start to understand, like, when we watch this combine, it's not just, hey, man, this dude ran a 4.2. let's hand him the
Cool.
football and let
Yeah.
it's not we're gonna run toss plays and he's gonna outrun somebody. He's gonna outrun the whole defense. That's not what we're looking at. So David Montgomery to me is a guy who has elite vision. He has an elite understanding of football. You can see it in the ways that he runs the football. And I think that he is just a phenomenal teammate, Steve. You look at this guy, he hears all of the Jahmyr Gibbs conversations. And anytime a conversation gets tossed at him, he's like, man, they're like this. They're best buddies. He's humble. He says he's just trying to do what he can to help the Detroit Lions win, as well as chase some personal goals that he has that he never shares, because the ultimate goal to him is lifting that Lombardi trophy. So, Steve, in the rushing game, David Montgomery, man, how do you feel about him just as a rusher in comparison to the rest of the league? Do you think that he compares to, I know you put him at 6'7", but if we take like Christian McCaffrey, for instance, I know you put ahead of him, correct?
Which yeah, but he's still electric. He's still Christian McCaffrey, but I know Father Time's not on his side.
Yeah, for sure. But even when I think about Christian McCaffrey, I just think about, man, how David Montgomery punishes you at the end of runs. I just love it, man.
You know what I was thinking while we were watching those clips is we could take those exact 3 plays and we could do an episode on other players not named David Montgomery. Like the offensive line didn't miss a single block. Like that's huge. Like I believe that very first clip was an 8-man box and we just absolutely pushed him around still. Like we line up the football and we say, we're going to run it. Come stop it. Please try. I think David Montgomery is a finisher. I think he's a closer. I remember that opening game last year against the Rams, kind of an ugly game. Like looked like maybe it could be a blowout, but the Rams fought back. They're a hard team. They were a playoff team. Great team. Like they've drafted very well. I like a lot of guys that they got. And I remember just in overtime, David Montgomery was just, hey, we got the best offensive line of the football. Just give me the rock, and I'm gonna get it down there, 5-6 yards at a time. Boom, 20 yards. Boom, touchdown. Like ball game over. Opening weekend. Let's go celebrate a week 1 win and get on to week 2. Like he did that a couple times. I think it was a game against Minnesota 2 years ago where it was the same thing. Like, hey, we got to just punish these guys. Like it's late in the game, hands are on hips, lean on this offensive line. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to bust off a long one, but if you want someone to just come in and get 5-6 yards and make some defenses not want to play football anymore, David Montgomery is your guy. He's the closer.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. And this comment that I'm making is not directed at you because I know we talk. I know how you feel about it, but I do feel like a lot of people kind of deem him as a goal line back or just a punisher or a finisher. He's way more, man. He's way more than that. He's truly a well-rounded running back that can do everything that you need him to do. I didn't bore you guys and load in any blocks of his pass blocking, pass pros type stuff because I know you guys are probably unsubscribe or at a minimum stop watching the video. But he handles it in the pass pro too. But I do have some receiving, and I know Steve. I know you.
Yeah, I think I know for sure one play that's in here.
Yeah, so I knew that everybody would think that, so I went in a different direction a little bit. So here we are, pass pro. You see him deep back. Now, we often talk about Jared Goff, his safety net being Sam Laporta. I think that is underrated, his safety net also being David Montgomery. Some of these checkdowns to David Montgomery, you'll see he's not an easy out when he gets the football in his hands. So let's roll it. Popping out of the backfield.
No one there.
Now,
no one there.
One-on-one. Bang. Bang. He is not an easy out once he gets the ball in his hands. And I love that about him. I feel like it's underrated. People don't talk about it. Going through the progression, drop it to him in the middle of the field. He's going to go get you some extra yards, man. Like David Montgomery is tough. And I really like this one. I feel like people underrated. Go get it with one hand. Go get it with one. And this is the one. This is the
what's gonna pour. Hey, rest in peace, Devon Witherspoon. Bam.
Bang. Goodbye. Bye. One more time. One more time. You can't load it in and not run it back one more time. Bang. Bye. But David Montgomery, man, is a guy who is very underrated. I feel like he does all the things. He can catch passes out of the backfield. Right? He's elusive once he gets the ball in his hands. He can punish you. He's patient. He has great vision. There's nothing that David Montgomery can't do with a football in his hands, even take that thing 75 yards. Now, If it's a race, is Jameer Gibbs going to get there first? Yeah, probably. But it's not just about speed, man. It's not just about speed. So going into this season, when I think about Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery, the last thing, the icing, the sprinkles on the cake, Steve, to me, is Tashard Choice. We got a new running backs coach in here who is fired up. He has a relationship with Jameer Gibbs from Georgia Tech, and it's often talked about. Jameer Gibbs has even said, hey, this was a guy who made a huge impact on my life. And everybody talks about how excited they are for them to push that to the next level. But this is a guy who coaches the whole room. And if you looked at any of the stuff that's been talked about, or press conferences or articles that's talked about Coach Choice in his little time in Detroit so far, his very first day, he was screaming in the halls, pumped up, fired up, ready to go. When he got out there on the field, he's screaming, he's fired up. This is a guy who's out to make a name for himself as a coach, as one of the premier coaches. I think that he is going to fly up, similar to Coach Shep, throughout the ranks, man. With riding the coattails of guys like Scotty Montgomery, who was our coach last year, or the running backs coach last year. I'm excited to see what he does with Montgomery and Gibbs, because I think he's going to play a pivotal role for the Detroit Lions run game. And then you already know what Hank's going to be bringing to the table with those hogs up front and getting them squared away. So, Steve, going into this season, I'm looking to see David Montgomery remind people why there should be a lot more respect on his name, man.
You know what I'm going to do one day, Will?
What's that?
We're all up against the clock. Like we're all gonna end up passing away. We're all gonna go meet our makers, whoever you believe that is, respectively, and we're all gonna have a day of judgment. And I believe when I'm led into heaven, I'm gonna be asked, "Do you have any questions?" And I'm gonna say, "Yeah, Lord, I do have one question for you. Would David Montgomery have made a major impact to that NFC divisional game against Washington Commanders, where maybe we run the ball on 3rd and 1 and we're talking about a Super Bowl?" That haunts me to this day. Well, and I know there is zero way for us to ever get an answer to this question, but a healthy David Montgomery against the Washington Commanders, would that have been a difference? Would that have taken a little bit more pressure off Jared Goff? I know we had Jameer Gibbs, the 3rd and 1. We still could have ran the ball, but well, to the day I die, that's going to haunt me. Like if we were at full complement, even just on offense, because I know Demo played in that game, or he tried to play in that game, and you could just tell, like right off the rip, first carry, I was like, he's not the same. Like,
yeah,
let's just get him out. Let's not even worry about long-term injury. Like I only needed to see one snap, and I saw it. So I know he tried to soldier through that game, but everyone who was watching knows that was not the real David Montgomery. And I just can't help but wonder, what if he was 100%? What if he was 90% healthy? Like, would it have made a difference where maybe we could have ran the ball in situations, a different type of run with a more physical running back? Well, we'll never get an answer, but it'll haunt me until the day I die and I get the answer from the Lord above.
I understand, man. Hey, let me know. Let me know what the Lord says about it, because I'm gonna ask some different questions. But I will revel in the Super Bowls that we're going to win down the road here, man. I'm expecting us to be in a Super Bowl conversation this season and for the next few seasons to come at a minimum, but hopefully even longer than that, man. So, I'm not gonna hang in on past heartbreak, because it's the last 2 seasons have just been crushing, man. I don't even know what was actually I do. It was the 49ers game crushed me more than the Commanders game. Yeah. I was gonna say I don't know what
you know off topic, what's gonna just crush me even more is that the Netflix show Quarterbacks coming out in like a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. And I know Jared Goff's featured in it, and I just know it's like the train wreck, is coming. Like it's gonna be, oh cool, this is entertaining. Like we're going week by week, and you're like, oh, it's week 4, week 8, 12. 16. Shit, we're getting close to that game against the Commanders, and it's gonna hurt just as much watching it on here. And I have to watch it, Will, because I'm a football guy. I can't not watch it, but part of me wishes that I could just, like fast forward the end, like, and just not see what happens, because it's still gonna hurt. Is it still gonna hurt you when you watch it?
Steve, let me tell you this. I still don't know how the Netflix series Receiver ends. So it's not going to hurt me because I'm not going to watch it.
I'll tell you what, that one hurt me. I don't think any show can hurt me more than that. All right. Like I, to this day, cannot watch a movie or a TV. Ask my wife will vouch for this. If we go to see a movie and there's a dog in it, I have to know beforehand what's going to happen to that dog before I commit to go watch this movie. Like I'll cheat, I'll get on some websites and see like, hey, what's the outcome of this movie? If everything's good, we go see it. I Am Legend, can't watch it because I know what happens to that dog in the end. It's like Homeward Bound, can't watch that shit either. So it's the same thing when I'm watching like quarterback and receiver, and I know it's coming and I don't want to watch it. It gets me a little emotional, Will, but I have to find a way to watch it because I'm sure we'll have to talk about something in there. But final question. Do David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs both run for 1,000 yards?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Because I know everyone's going to ask in the comments. So I agree. I think if they both stay healthy, 1,000 yards, not even a problem. Might be 1,000 yards each by week 9 or something. I don't know, something crazy. Yeah. Anything else for tonight?
Nope, that's it, man. Tell us how you feeling about David Montgomery. You think they're both going to rush for 1,000 yards? Could you see a potential world where maybe David Montgomery has more rushing yards than Jahmyr Gibbs? How you guys feeling about Demo, man? Because I feel like Demo's underrated.
If anyone wants to make a bet that David Montgomery has more yards, I will. We can set up a payment. Like we can figure out how to
Venmo.
Like I will take Jahmyr Gibbs yards over David Montgomery all day, assuming all stay healthy. Let me throw that in there. I got to get a little insurance. If I don't want to go down that road, I don't want to say what if. But stick around, hit that like button. We'll be back later with another show.
Peace.